Hey, you guys. Hey, it's Natalie SUGAR Brown, y'all, and it's the Natalie SUGAR Brown Show. Okay. Now, if y'all are tuning in, those are who are new, right? This is Natalie SUGAR Brown, female pugilist or woman pugilist. I have been a boxer for many years. I have been there and done it all. Trust me. All right. And this is my platform now where I get on here and I share my perspective and tell y'all a little bit of the story in between the lines of what's going on out here in women's boxing, right? And so, what I want y'all to do is chime in and have this conversation with Sugar, right? This ain't about me telling you what to do and who's what and any of that stuff. This is Sugar, Natalie, SUGAR Brown, here having a conversation about women's boxing with you guys. Okay, I'm gonna share a little bit of insight. I'm gonna uh, outline some facts, new school, old school, up and coming, what we want to see. Okay, but I'm not pointing fingers. Okay, um, people people come on my platform because they truly want to get real up close and personal. They want to get vulnerable. They want to talk about what the mind or what goes on inside the minds of a woman fighter or women boxers in particular. Okay, so today's show. Okay, today's show is titled "Watch the Game, Not the Score," and the reason why I'm coming out the gate, jumping out the blocks about what the title is because there's some stuff coming up. There's a great card coming up. I believe in February 4th, and a couple fights, big card coming up. But I want to pull some, pull some interesting uh matchups out from what's coming up. Okay, and I ain't going to do it all. I like to I me you know I don't like the hard and fast, and I'm kind of I like the slow ride, right? And I like the details, and I like knowing, talking about the stuff. So let's talk about the stuff, okay? Um, my lovely assistant is on cue now, and last week we had some technical difficulty. I ain't had no pictures to show. And y'all know Sugar Show is quite simple. It's just me on here talking the talk, and I may have some pictures to show. Okay. So I had no pictures last week, but I was talking the talk. You gonna learn today. That was the last episode. And the last episode was actually uh, pretty educational, right? It was me running down what the temperaments of a fighter is, and how a coach or a trainer uh, sizes up a prospective fighter, whether they are the ones who are going to be the general to train their fighter against that particular fighter, or they're the general who's going to train the particular fighter for fighting. Okay, so that's how the last episode was. Check it out, y'all. Check it out. Check it out, y'all. Check it out. Okay, like, subscribe, and share. Let's just get that out the way, okay? I'm gonna hit y'all back about that, but don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because we on here. I mean, we'll talk about we're talking about women's boxing, but I guess the Sugar Show is kind of different. I'll say the Sugar Show is different in where I celebrate all of us at the same time, but at well but I speak for what we all want at the same time. Yeah. Um, Stick around. I think you'll like it. So, lovely assistant, what we got up? What we got? Um, so yeah, y'all, look at this. So this is the card that's coming up. It's big time Serrano versus Cruz card, and to be honest, and no shame to you, Amanda Serrano, or Miss Cruz, but um, I'm not really interested in y'all's match, but I do have some interest in the undercards, a little bit, just a little bit. So I'm gonna go over that. Um, I'm gonna go over that, and I'm gonna talk about what we have in these undercard matchups, and why they are interesting, and why I would want y'all to tune in and watch these fights, so you could come back and have a conversation with Sugar about what you saw, what you liked, what you think. Okay. Um. So. Uh, this card features, um, as I've said, Amanda Serrano. I'm not I'm sorry, I just wasn't, not, this ain't no shame, y'all, but I'm sure these two fighters are great. Amanda Serrano is the star of the show. She's fighting, last name Cruz, for this fighter. I'm not really too privy of the background of this fighter, but hey, she's the co-star of the show, and let's hope they put on a good performance. I I To be honest, I don't see where Amanda Serrano has picked any contender since the Katie Taylor fight that has uh, generated as much interest as Katie Taylor. And those are hard shoes to fill, right? You can't make your name fighting someone and then you, you know, you feel like, okay, I'm enough of a star. You have to continue to show the star power that you have. And I'm talking about Amanda Serrano. Because Amanda Serrano didn't have the star power. It was Katie Taylor that had the star power over the summer with that super mega match, versus at Madison Square Garden in New York, versus Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. So Erica Cruz is, she has the WBA title. Um, and she fights featherweight division. So she's, I guess she's a smaller weight than what Serrano went up to fight Katie Taylor at. So Serrano must have decided that, you know what, Katie Taylor is just going to be my one go at lightweight, and I'm gonna take it on back down to the featherweight division. And excuse me, y'all. Erica Cruz has been the WBA featherweight champion since 2021. So she's held on to it for some time now. We in the early parts of 2023, and it looks like Amanda Serrano looked like she want to take this title up off of Erica Cruz. Um, I'll give her this. I'll give Erica Cruz this much credit. You ain't going to come out of Mexico and not know how to fight, right? Mexican women, they're some of the scourges out here. Either you have a you know fantastic fighter of a Mexican female, or they they go down there and they'll find like bodies, right? So there's no in between, right? Either you have greatness, or you got another body bag. I don't think Erica Cruz is a body bag, and so I would look for I'm gonna look forward to see the Amanda Serrano deal with this champion, Mexican champion. Now let's keep it real in this fight, okay? If Erica Cruz rallies at featherweight, that means Amanda Serrano is actually the bigger fighter. Okay. And that's how they, and that's how they pull the wool over our eyes, right? The reason why I'm not too interested in this matchup is due to that. You know, that's one of the biggest points. Um, Amanda Serrano knows that there's really no no one that you know the the women's boxing community and we the women's boxing fans um really pull for or are really concerned with down in the featherweight division. Mexico is a different deal because most of those women, if not all, are smaller women. So featherweight division will be a hot division over there in Mexico. But she bringing this broad over here to the States to prove what, right? You in the States, Amanda, pull one of our baddies, one of our contenders, one of our monsters out of the trenches, and let us see why you are Amanda Serrano, the undisputed or the champion, right? We sick of y'all playing this game now. We're not doing it no more. It's 2023 now, okay? We want you to extend yourself, right? Um, get in there with with a bigger broad, sit in that lightweight division, and show us why you were at the person at that caliber to challenge Katie Taylor. So moving on to the next image. Moving on to the next image, you guys. Okay, so y'all saw how they sold the poster pretty much. Lovely assistant, can you go back to the poster, please? Going back. So this is how they're selling it. We got a bunch of people here on this poster. We got two broads on the top. And they look like they mad, and they look like I guess they're gonna fight. I don't know. That just it doesn't sell that these are two broads that I actually want to go see fight, right? I want to see the personalities. I want to see I want to see the zest, and I don't see it in this publication or in this marketing for this big fight. Now, who did it right, or we're looking at the posters, look in the middle, they doing it right. So we got Alicia Baumgartner and Elam McCallid. Them two, that's looking good. That's looking interesting, right? Because you see the personality in each broad's face, right? You see where you want to know the story. I want to know the story on the of the broad on the left, even if I don't know her. I want to know the story of the broad on the right. Why they meeting to fight? The top, they look like, yeah, y'all, Amanda and Erica, y'all up top there looking, yeah, y'all might need to fight somebody. Y'all looking too hard in the face, and y'all looking like y'all chew glass, and y'all live on glass and water, and your life is just misery and fight, right? The two broads now in the middle look like they lead some regular Jane lives, or they're two women that I can identify with, and I want to know how they going to look fighting, and I want to know the story of how they got to this place. And then you got some men on the corners. I guess the men are the padding, and this is great. This is what a time to be a woman boxer, right? Where you got four women headliners, and then you got men as the undercard, and then delving deeper down, we got Ramla Ali on the left there versus Avril Mathy. I think that's, yeah, Avril Mathy. Um, so, I mean, even those two on the bottom right there, they look like okay. And after I see those two in the middle fight, yeah, I'll stick around and I'll watch then them other broads, see what they got going on too. Yeah. So that's how it. I mean, that's how it's looking, and that's how it's selling. I they can do a lot better, right? Dazen, y'all can do a lot better with selling this card. You got a really interesting fight as a co-main on here, and that's what's going to bring the money into you, and that's what's bring that I think that's what's going to bring the money into women's boxing for this card. Um, Lovely assistant. Now let's go on to the next. All right, so just honing in on these two broads that I'm very much interested in. So we got Alicia Baumgartner looking like the bomb on the left, and Ellen, just so I don't get the names wrong, because y'all know Shug will get a name, will jam up your name. I apologize, y'all. There's no disrespect behind that. It's just I get it from my grandmama. Ruby will tear your name to pieces, but she means it with all the love and respect. So Elam McCollid is on the right hand side, and I mean, even the two pictures side by side, the matchup looks so interesting, you guys, because even the two body types, right? We getting ready to watch a fight. We getting ready to see a fight, y'all. We should be excited. Yeah. If you like to watch fights, if you like to see women fight, of course. About my father's business. Hey, it look like you the first one on set. You the first one on base. How you doing? Talking about checking in, I see Alicia's sexy self. Ooh, look like we got a fanboy. Yeah. She looking sexy. She looking ready. She always looking ready and hard bodied and ready to fight. And I like that about her. She's one that markets herself very well. Um and then we got Ella McCollid, who she ain't hard bodied, but she looks like the girl next door. She looks like a broad that you would see at maybe an aerobic class or two, right? Beautiful, pretty face. Both got the pretty face. Um, but let's delve a little deeper into the details of this matchup, okay? So we got Alicia Baumgartner, who is 13 wins, 1 loss, and 7 KOs. Okay. She is now the gal world title holder. Um, the one loss she has is to Christina Leonardo, and we're going to get into that fighter story later on in the show. And then Ella McCollid is 15 wins, 1 loss, and 3 KOs. Okay. So, I mean, if you're a numbers person, there you go, right? But like I said, in women's boxing, don't look at the number. Don't look at the number. They lying to you, right? It's not about the number in women's boxing. It's about the broad, okay? I'm gonna tell you about these broads now. You make a decision because I done made mine. Okay, so describe going back into how Sugar talks about These fighting broads out here, okay? Uh, Alicia Baumgartner is an elite level performer, okay? I wouldn't call her an elite level fighter just yet. Um, she doesn't operate in the ring like an elite level fighter, but she can perform in the elite arena. Um, I said that, or that being said, this is what I mean by that. Uh, in her showings versus goodness, the first one where she knocked out come on, lovely assistant, give me Harper, Terry Harper in England, right? She knocked out Terry Harper in England. That was her first, burst on the scene that everybody saw this fighter. It was a grand oh, performance. It was a grand result, okay? Because Terry Harper was that gal, was that broad, okay? She in England, I suppose, like Sugar always says on the show, her poo poo can make chili. Okay, she was the gal. Okay, and um, Terry Harper had beat some substantial opposition it, in that division, right? So she got the win over Natasha Jonas, which is a baddie out here now, rallying at middleweight, right? And so Terry Harper is middleweight now too. So the story in that, um, the story in Bumgardner is she knocked out an elite level boxer in Terry Harper, but the backstory of that is it I as much as it was a spectacular victory for Alicia Bumgardner, it was more so the weight that defeated Terry Harper than Alicia Bumgardner, right? Go and watch the fight. Go on and see it. Go on and look at it, right? We're not going to really talk about this thing unless we talking about this thing, right? Because Terry Harper was managing and handling Alicia Baumgardner in that fight. What it was is Terry Harper was weak from making the damn weight. And I'll tell you, Terry Harper rallies at 152, no problem. She looked like she belonged there now, right? So I can't imagine what she had to do to suck down to featherweight, to 130 and 132 in them, right? That's a lot. That's a lot, right? So now you got a fighter like Alicia Baumgardner who is more comfortable at that weight, who is stronger, and who's got more pop in her punches at that weight. And on top of that, she's determined. You're in trouble. Okay, so it just wasn't the best move for Terry Harper, and I think what it is, and a lot of these broads out here, um, they get comfortable with the idea of, well, I'm the favorite, I'm the star of the show. All I got to do is end the fight on my feet. I can look like garbage, but if I end the fight on my feet, I know I got to win. But as Sugar always says, every fighter's got a fighting chance, right? And you never test or try the fight gods, right? Because they're going to show you that they more powerful than all the shenanigans that you may put together, versus a fighting chance. So, um, this matchup here now, Alicia Baumgardner, elite level performer, okay, This fighter works off of Alicia Baumgardner has her one loss to Christina Leonardo taught her a real lesson. Okay, because when Alicia Baumgartner first came out on the scene, people celebrated that, oh, she's strong and oh, she hits hard. And she was really going off of she was sipping that Kool-Aid until she met up with somebody who hit hard too and wanted to win too, right? And so when it came down to it, the person who had the more heart desire, the more the one with the hardest temperament, the wickedest temperament, was going to be the one who was the winner. And so the temperaments, that was last show, y'all check it out, right? So Alicia Baumgardner now sipping her Kool-Aid and you know, she met up, she came out as a sanguine type of fighter. Sanguine type of fighter is, you know, she's the star of the show, right? Look at me. I got the muscles, I got the look, I'm beautiful, and I can fight, right? She had to get a taste of that bile in the ring. Um, for her to understand that you got to be more than a pretty face. You got to be more than a little strong. You got to be more than um, the favorite to win a fight up in this mug. Okay? So, I mean, I would love for y'all to watch this fight too. Alicia Baumgardner versus Christina Leonardo. Medusa. Yeah. Um, Medusa bad, y'all. Medusa bad. We want to talk about her. Baumgardner, yeah, she, you know, she good. She got a nice little story, and then she's very marketable. But is she bad though? Right? Because Sugar talks the talk and is always talking to talk about what women's boxing is. And I'm hoping that y'all get it by now. But women's boxing is women behaving badly. That's what this thing is. And that's what it's always been. So Baumgartner come in, but she wasn't. I called her and Michaela Meyer the two Disney princesses, you know, going back and forth on the Twitter. I'm a grown ass woman. I wasn't really, I wasn't even really privy to that, you know. I want to see when two broads are getting ready to fight, I want to see two grown ass women decide that which one going to be better that night, right? That's what I like. That's what being a professional woman boxer is. It ain't Disney princess feuds. Okay. I've been to high school, I've been to middle school, I've had schoolyard fights and schoolyard beefs. You know, it's just not as it's just not as interesting as, like I said, to women about they shit deciding that time and place, be there because it's going down, right? So saying that to say this, going back to this, um Alicia Baumgardner was that slice of humble pie wasn't enough. Leonardo gave her the whole cake to eat, and she ate the cake. She ate the humble pie, she ate the whole cake, and she came back better. And I think that's what put her in a different frame of mind. She was able to develop and evolve mentally into understanding what this thing is, and which that is the thing that has prepared or did prepare her to get the edge over Michaela Meyer earlier, well, down in 2022 when they fought, right? I would say it was a close fight, but it was the moxie. It was the swag that got Alicia the win this time, and in Alicia's mind, because she got the ass whooping from Lena Darto, in her mind, she said, ain't nobody, I had Alicia, I mean, Michaela Meyer ain't better than that broad. So I got to win this. You know what I'm saying? Um, Michaela Meyer hadn't gotten there yet. She hadn't been in the ring with a monster yet as Christina Linadarto. So, like I said, Alicia Baumgartner, sanguine temperament. I'm the star of the show. It's me. Look at me. I'm gorgeous and I can fight and I can punch hard. She's a strategy fighter, right? So she's not yet seasoned enough to walk the walk just yet. She's not able to really work a fight. She can perform, because as you can see, she trains very hard. So and you can see it on her body. So she going to out fast you. She going to out punch you. She's going to be explosive. She's going to be in good shape. But is she going to out fight? Does she know how to fight just yet? I think the seasoning is got it. She's got to get into some more. She's got to get into some more. Bro, she got to get back into the trenches with somebody else for her to become seasoned. And I think this may be a fight for that. Um, so in Michaela Meyer's strategy, or in her type of approach in her fights, is especially now, she's going to use the strategy, right? Because she's learned that she's not going to be able to walk through everybody, and she understands now the important tool in executing a strategy. So she's going to work that strategy and keep it going until that pop that she has catches up to the opposition, because she's ready, and she's going to always be ready, and she's always going to be game for the opportunity to jump on that ass. Okay, so that's what makes Alicia Baumgartner the bomb. Okay, and then to the right now, to the right is Ellen McCallid. Now, this fighter is interesting. What to me? Why? Because of her only loss. I saw her performance in her only loss. She fought Delphine Persoon, which speaks a lot about this fighter. She fought Delphine Persoon and she did not get stopped by Delphine Persoon. And Delphine Persoon Delphine done stopped some great contenders out there. So when I saw the result, I said, I got to see how the thing went down. I got to know. So watching the fight, I was delighted to see this type of broad step onto the scene in McCullough. Okay, when people saw the result in women's boxing, people tend to say, "Oh yeah, she lost, Delphine beat her," and we on to the next. But I had to get on the thread, and I had to say, no, this broad can fight. Y'all need to check her out. This broad can fight. So she's 15 wins, 1 loss, 3 KOs. Okay, so it's showing like she ain't no knockout artist, but she is a choleric type of fighter, meaning She wants to fight. Yeah. And she will fight. Yeah. And even though with them damn 3 KOs, she ain't going crack an egg or bust a grape, but she will crack. She ain't gonna bust a grape. Oh, sorry. She'll bust a grape. She ain't gonna crack an egg right now, but she'll crack an egg eventually. Okay? Because this broad can box. She's a great boxer. She's a choleric boxer, meaning that she's not running away like no damn Katie Taylor. She gonna stand there in front of you and take and give, knowing that she may not be as strong as you, but she gonna stand in your chest and she gonna give you something. She gonna give you a couple gourmet knuckle sandwiches for you to deal with. She knows how to turn. She knows how to angle. Her IQ is up there. And I know she has some pedigree. She's of European champion pedigree. She's not, I don't think she's an Olympian, but she was up there. She was a world ranked fighter in her earlier years as well. So it was just refreshing to see someone that that knocked on the door. She's a old school. She does have that old school mentality in the ring there. She has a good general, and you can see it. And you can see that she has a good general in the fact that she ain't running because she knows she has the tools for that ass. Right? You give her something, she going to take it and she going to dip in the bag and come back with something, one, two, something else on you. So you better know what you're doing when you standing in front of her. Excellent boxer strategist. I'm telling you, when she fought Delphine Pursoon, the only reason why Delphine Pursoon won the fight was one, because she was Delphine Pursoon and nobody knew who Ellen McCallum was. So it was a bit political. And number two, she didn't have the guns to put Pursoon on her ass. But for the most part, boxing wise, strategy wise, I would have given the fight to McCallum, if we were looking at it that way, right? At the end of the day, you got to be able to you got to be able to hurt them. You got to be able to make a mark, leave them with something. If you can't show that, yeah, I can hurt her, you're not going to get the nod. And at 15-1 with 3 KOs, I don't think Ellen McCallum has, she's like, I speak highly of her, but she does not have the seasoning now to put it all together to be a deadly threat, or be the deadly threat that she can be in the ring. I also see where Ellen McCallum has been taught old school, so she's more of a 3-minute type fighter, because her breakdown, or how her approach is subtle, right? When you're fighting 3-minute rounds, you can have that subtle approach, right? Because it'll all catch up to that person by the 3rd minute. But when you're fighting 2-minute rounds, right? It's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, right? Let's, we done all the formalities. Let's bully. Let's get freaky, right? And she hasn't gotten, she's not in the place where she's let loose enough to just get freaky out the gate, which I'm waiting for. I hope that we see it in this matchup here, versus Bob Gardner. So in this fight, I see, because Alicia Baumgardner is on a roll, I do see where the cards may be or the ball may be more so in Baumgartner's court for the win for this one. But I should hope that Ella McCallid gets freaky enough to make a name for herself, gets freaky enough that people would maybe Katie Taylor would want to get in there and tussle and roll around with her, and so she can get some, she can bring a bit of excitement even as an elite level contender to the women's boxing platform. Yeah, I'm talking that talk right now. Okay, because it's not a popular. We want to take it from being a popularity contest to giving every broad uh, uh, some kind of place in the spotlight of women's boxing right now. Everybody should eat. Everybody should be able to get in there and eat. Okay. Um, about my father's business says she might just come out her shell this fight at this magnitude. That's what I'm hoping for about my father's business. I'm hoping that McCalled sees the opportunity. I've heard, I mean, I've seen quotes of her saying, "I have nothing to lose." So she's talking like a broad that is ready to let it all loose in there. She's talking like a broad that's willing to put everything at, let it all hang out in there. And I'm just hoping she does, because in boxing they say, you're only as good as your last fight, right? And so this is her last. She needs to go into this think knowing that this is my last fight, right? And put it all in there. Put it all in there. Try to make the pretty Disney princess. Try to scratch her up, bust her up, scar, and do something. You know what I'm saying? Leave her with something to think about. Make it. I know you're a boxer, but make it a fight. And so how I would suppose this could be a fight from McKellard's perspective is she would have to wear Baumgartner down. She would have to wear Baumgartner down skill wise and expose Baumgartner for the lack of real fighting IQ, right? Because that is McCollard's strength in this matchup. All the other things pretty much go to Baumgartner, Alicia Baumgartner. Alicia's strong. Alicia's fast. Alicia is a sanguine fighter. So Alicia she has this thing where she can look like she's winning. Right? A sanguine fighter is for the spotlight. Look at me. Look at how fast I do this. Look at me. Look. Boy, that was nothing, right? You could be whooping a sanguine fighter's ass and they'll dance off of it. They'll make it look like they did that shit on purpose. And the harder you fight a sanguine fighter, the more they can put on a show. You got to be careful. You have to understand the temperament of the fighter that you're fighting, right? So you don't want to you don't want to fight a sanguine hard. You want them to expose themselves. You want them to make moves that they're not sure about. You want them to lose that confidence. You want them to, oh shit, I missed that shot. Oh man, okay, yeah. Oh shit, yeah, I slipped. Somebody's laughing, right? You want to make them make mistakes, which McCollett can do because she's a better boxer than Baumgartner. So if she starts countering the shit out of Baumgartner like she did with Pursoon, we may have something cooking like Crisco in there, right? I am so interested because uh McCollett is a choleric fighter. meaning she wants to fight. She ain't gonna run. She gonna step to Bumgardner, and she gonna step to her, and she gonna catch and counter. She gonna touch and go. Right? These are terms that people with boxing IQ know and understand. Right? So I'm not gonna slip nothing. It ain't cute. We ain't being cute. I'm gonna catch this shit and feed it, slam it down your throat. Right? I'm gonna catch this shit, pop your head off your neck with it. Right? That's what McCullough does, or she can do. Right? She can touch and go. Meaning when Alicia come with that quick shit, she gonna touch, and she could come back with her shit too. Great combat conversation, y'all. This matchup here. I am excited about this. I feel like Bumgardner that has a bit more leverage in the matchup, but I'm rooting for the underdog in Ellen McCullough. The body types are different. One is taller. Ellen is a tall, lanky fighter, so she has a reach and stuff, right? And Alicia Bumgardner is a smaller, more explosive fighter, right? But like I say about all of this stuff, is how you use it. Is how you use it. So, like I said, I'm so interested. Now, is this an elite level fight in women's boxing? Yes. This is an elite fight. This is a fight worth watching. Should this fight generate man money? Meaning, should this fight, should these women be paid the same as two highly, two semi-celebrity male boxers? Should they get the same type of pay as two moderately known male boxers? The same, right? No. Why no? Because this is how I see it. They didn't put enough behind the marketing, or they didn't put anything behind this fight for us to really get to know how great these two, how great this matchup is, how great this contender in Ellen McCullough is, what the significance of Alicia Bumgardner fighting Ellen McCullough is, because y'all know what I hope y'all understand what the significance is, right? Don't nobody want to touch Delphine Pursoon with a 10-foot pole. It's like she got leprosy COVID all put together out here. They staying far from her. Back! Right? I ain't gonna fight Delphine, but I'll fight the broad who fought Delphine. That should make a difference. That should show how good I am and how bad I am out here. This is the significance, right? And y'all ain't slick, right? This some slick shit. Y'all ain't slick, but y'all messed around with this slick shit and put together a pretty good matchup, which I appreciate. About My Father's Business comes in and says, I see this as a Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo first fight in a way. I could be wrong. Well, I do agree with you about My Father's Business. I do agree with you with that. And you're absolutely right. I do see, and you tell me if I'm getting it right. I see Tony Harris as being the Ellen McCullough, and I see the Alicia Bumgardner in being the Jermell Charlo. Right? I do see that in the temperate, and so in you doing that, and thank you for bringing that comparison to the table, right? Oh, about my father's business says yes. All right, so we on the same page. Okay, finally, for once, right about my father's business. You know what that means. So, do you think this matchup, right? These two broads here should get the same pay that Tony Harrison and Jermel Charlo got paid? Even though now you can see that it's the same type of comparison of matchup, do you think the billing deserves the same kind of uh paycheck? For me, I don't think I say no. Why? Because they got to work a little bit harder in women's boxing, right? They Nobody knows what this is. Nobody knows what this matchup is. About my father's business, uh, now brought a perfect comparison to this. And about my father's business agrees with me, saying if the promo was much more, right? So I mean, I'm glad that I'm glad that you guys, well, about my father's business, I'm glad that you can help me bring that point to the platform and help people understand the comparison with this matchup in women's boxing is compared to the same caliber of matchup in male boxing. Thank you. That was awesome. Um, and so, root for who you like, right? And I February 4th, y'all, that's just around the corner. Okay. So we got what's the next? So before we switch up, right? So I said the Ellen McCalled loss, but it was a marvelous loss, right? Because Sugar says every loss, and I think Mike Tyson said it too, but every loss is, you don't lose with every loss, right? And you don't necessarily win with every win. Okay. Ellen McCalled has the edge in this fight to me because going into this fight, she knows that Alicia Baumgardner ain't better than Delphine Persoon. So who? I got this damn fight, right? And Alicia's Baumgardner's only loss is to Christina Linadarto. Well, um, she she still has that moxie. I just beat Christina Linadarto and I beat Michaela Meyer, but she's a sanguine, right? So she's gonna be looking at this nobody of a fighter coming to her, and now it's going to be a mental game for Alicia, right? She's got to stay confident. She's got to stay sharp. She's got to know what she's doing the whole time in this fight, right? She can't get discouraged, otherwise she'll start looking bad. And when a sanguine fighter starts looking bad, they help the challenger in whooping their own ass. Yeah, that's how that goes. Okay, so uh next image. Next image. Come on, lovely assistant. Wake up. Come on. Thank you. Okay, so now we got Ramla Ali versus Avril Mati. I'll say it like that. Okay. Now, Ramla Ali is 7-0, and you know she's coming out. She's the baddest broad out of Africa. Okay, she done earned it. Okay, been to Olympics, done it. She up there, up there. Most accomplished, baddest broad out of Africa right now. Right? Anybody else? Anybody chime in? Y'all can chime in and tell me who you know that's better than Ramla Ali coming out of Africa. Okay. And then we got Avril Mati. Okay, and I think Avril Mathieu is French. My talk fight means a sidekick. Let me know where's she from? Where's she from? Okay, but Ramla Ali is 7 wins, 0 losses. Okay, she got a good little record, sub 10. So y'all know I don't really get excited over nobody sub 10, especially that she ain't fought nobody. Okay, and then oh, so not so y'all, Avril Mathieu is not, she's not French. She's a Aussie broad. Ooh boy, y'all know what that means. Sugar done said it before. She tough. Them Australian broads is tough. If they may not know, they ain't going, they don't know how to box, they may not know how to fight, they know, but they tough. I can just let it sit there and marinate when I say tough. I mean, just when okay. I want y'all to putting this tough into perspective. There are fighters that are hard to fight, meaning they slimy and slippery. They're frustrating. There are fighters who are, they are easy to fight, right? One thing, you do one thing or you stick to one thing with them and you got them, right? And then there's real fighters where they make adjustments and the shit is just a ever loving Rubik's cube until from round one to the end. Okay. um you know then you got a tough fighter. The tough fighters, to me, like they stand out because you throw everything at them, the kitchen sink, all the dishes, the silverware, everything. You throwing everything at them, and as much as you see them leaking, as much as you see them take 2 steps back, they taking 3 steps forward. They're not going. They're the army tank. They're gonna keep coming, even when they're out of ammunition. The fact that they're gonna keep coming while they leaking, and that's coming at you, right? You got to have your mind right. You gotta be strong within yourself to manage that, right? It's like a zombie coming at you, right? And it's not them zombies. They listen. Y'all know, like that's a little thing that Sugar like. I like zombie movies. Okay, so because I know I'm in shape, Sugar's always in some kind of shape. Okay, and if this thing keeps coming like that, and as much as you running fast, as much as you jump, as much as you doing everything that, as much as you cut it, it's already dead. It ain't feel. And sooner or later, that thing coming and it's going to bite your neck, and you're done, right? That's a tough fighter. That's a tough fighter, right? Through the rain and pain, they right there with you. Anyway, back to Avril Mathieu, the Aussie. Okay, Aussie women are tough fighters. Um, and I was able to look at some footage on this Aussie broad. Okay, she's 8 wins, 0 losses. And I'm not sure if she has any knockouts or anything just yet, or draws. But from what I see, she is a sanguine type of fighter, right? You look at her and she's pretty, and you see she got that girl next door, Disney. She another Disney princess broad. Yay! After she fights, right? When she gets in there, she's doing everything that she think Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and them might want to see. I mean, like I said, she's in there. I don't think she's ready for this fight. She's 8 wins, 0 losses, but 8 wins, 0 losses out of Australia. It ain't what you think it is, because the talent pool, or the not to say they're not talented over there, but they are not developed uh in a way where an 8-0 over there ain't looking like 8-0 over here. 8-0 in these places where opposition and competition is on that level. Okay. So she made 8-0 the tough way, right? She out toughed her opposition. If you looking at her record too, uh, I'm not sure if she has any amateur background, but they've definitely built her. She looked like she's getting built in the ring, in the pro ring, um, with this 8-0. She's one dimensional. Okay, she got one tool and she just uses it. And two tools. She got a straight left, she got a hard jab, and she's got a hard right hand. She's got a hard jab and she's got a hard sticking right hand. Okay, and she's stiff and strong with it. So it's not even like she's like some fighters, sanguine fighters too, they so good with they could take apart a damn so some people out there can take apart a damn car engine with a butter knife, right? But that's the one tool they using, but they good, they know how to use it, right? um she don't have that. She using the one jab, and it's that hard superman jab, and it's telegraphed, and you can see that shit. Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles fighting over who saw it first. You know what I mean? That's how she looking in there. And then she got the one right telegraphed right hand. uh she's not coordinated, right? So she's using these one punches at a time, and then she doesn't know how to get to the target to use the punches correctly, right? So she is very, very underdeveloped. Okay, she's a pretty face, and she's got the number behind her name, and she's an Aussie fighter, and Aussies do support their fighters. That's one thing they do. They just like the UK. They love some fighting, men and women. um I made some notes, so I'm just kind of she jumps into all of her attacks, which is concerning for me, right? When you see a fighter, they green, it's a green back when they leaving 2 feet off the ground, jumping into an attack. That's a no. That's like that's skull and bones. So you end up, you end somebody will, you you die in there doing that because you jump into something. That was rule number one that I learned. That was the first rule that I learned when I went into the boxing gym. You make sure both your feet don't leave the ground when you step into somebody, because you want to end up on your ass, and you may just end up waking up from that uh minutes later, right? Because you jumping into it, you're helping that other person by jumping the weight of your body into their shot. You understand? um about my father's business comes and says she might be something to worry about if she comes out with snakeskin boxing shoes. LOL. I don't know who you talking about my father's business. Who you talking about? You talking about you talking about Abro Mathy? You is this a joke? A crocodile Dundee joke? Is that you trying to show my age on here because you know these youngins don't know nothing about no damn crocodile Dundee. Um, but I mean that may be impressive too, right? Snakeskin boxing shoes. You know, we getting it in where it fit in. About my father's business, talking about yippers. Okay, so we both old out here. I know you older though. Um, so uh my sidekick here at Talkin Fight says I believe it's Avril Matthew's last fight was 7 months ago. 7 months and a little, um almost 8 months ago. And she won a 6 round unanimous decision. Okay, so um like I said, you know, for her to be on a car, like she don't belong here. This is not. I don't know how the hell she got here. Like, so how'd you get here, young broad, Avril Matthew? And you look like you trying to be somebody, right? This was not the move for you. Um, like I said, she's a sanguine temperament, so this fight might ruin her, right? Because she's not, she's doing it because she thinks that she's going to go somewhere with this. She's going into the ring against Ramla Ali, an Olympic level boxer. Not to say that Avril Matthew doesn't have a fighter's chance, not saying that, right? But Ramla Ali, the way Avril Mathi operates is tailor made for Ramla Ali. She's very simple, right? So Ramla Ali will navigate this fight very well. She's safe. She's safe. You can see everything coming, right? And Ramla has the IQ. She has the IQ. So all she needs to do is apply the IQ. But what people don't, what I don't think what Ramla, what I think Ramla doesn't and her people them don't understand is, Ramla, you ain't that cute. You're not that cute to be doing no shit like this, right? Um, you out of Africa, girl. You out of Africa. Fight one of them damn African girls. Fight one of them bad African baddies. Show us why you the baddest out of Africa. That's what I would have done, right? And as the management, and that's how you promote. Come on now, Ramallah Ali is a melancholic fighter. Melancholic means there's something that happened to her that has turned her into the fighter that she is. And she is a refugee that grew up in England. And now she fights for her country, Somalia. And she's done such great things for Somalia. Melancholic. They got to believe in something, right? So this melancholic fighter is fighting for that cause. Okay. Um, she's looking for the adversity, right? Well, bring the adversity to the table. Say, I'm bringing some African baddies to the table, but I'm not going to just bring them to the table and show you that, oh, um they bad. I'm gonna bring some skilled African baddies to the table, but then I'm gonna show you why I'm better than them because I'm gonna beat her ass. But I'm gonna introduce you to her, right? Because she bad too. There's a lot of African women fighters who are looking for a break. Come on, Ramla, break bread, right? Let this Aussie girl marinate a little bit longer, right? Y'all ain't had no reason to bring this broad into this fight. Why y'all do that? She ain't ready. Ramla, it would have been more interesting for us to see you bring one of them African, they strong. Them African girls, they just like how Aussie women are tough, African women are strong. If they ain't nothing, they strong. Yes. If they can't fight, they strong though. Yeah. I've gone in there with a couple of them. They put their damn hands on you. You're feeling the ancestors. I ain't even gonna lie. And that's okay. That's okay. I want to see that. I want to see that. Right? Ramla, do that for us. Bring that to the table. Don't do this no more. Don't do this no more. Okay? Um, yeah, because I want to see them I want to see them African girls swinging on you, and you using that Olympic stuff and getting out of it. Right? I want to see what you do in one of them tough yams and kenke shots hit you, right? Them African yams and that kenke, boy, I tell you, I've had some. I eat that too. That thing, that strong food. Okay, y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. That foo. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Let me tell you. Okay, so um it's an okay fight. It's an okay fight because I guess I'm on board with the whole Ramla Ali journey and the whole Ramla Ali struggle. But girl, if you do this one more again, you're gonna lose me. Right? I'm not a fan of this. Don't do that. You are she's 7-0, and she's of Olympic caliber. She's close to 10. She's sub 10, but she's Olympic caliber. So you need to be trying to step in there, like I said, with more hefty opposition. Okay, find them out there, because we know who you gunning for. Like everybody, like you're gunning for Shaniza Estrada. That's who you gunning for, right? This ain't Girl Scouts, right? That's who I want you to fight. That's a mega fight. That's a super fight. You versus Shaniza Estrada, right? You doing this shit at 7-0, you ain't convincing me. You like it looked like you out here to waste my time. Don't do that. Let's keep it interesting. Um, so melancholic Ramallah Ali, you know, versus the melancholic boxer. Okay, so she's out there and she's the she has the IQ, she has the experience, right? So she has the story, she has the makeup, she has the reason to fight. Avril Mathy is a banger, a sanguine banger that only has two tools: a left jab and a right cross. Okay, I don't see her throwing nothing else really, and you see them things clear from the hills. Um, I think she's bitten off more than she can chew. I don't think she's gonna win this fight, but there's always a fighter's chance. She's very strong. She's big for this weight and she's strong. And that's what I notice. Okay. So the test is for Ramla to see if she can manage a big strong fighter like this in her division, right? I don't know who she'll be gunning for. What she needs to do is she needs to get her rounds in, and she needs to get her she needs to get her experience up for the likes of a Shaniza Estrada, for a Marla Esparza, fighters like that. Um, who else? I mean, Nicola Anna, she ain't boxing no more, but like Them the type of fighters, you know what I'm saying? Um, is this an elite level fight? Should these two sub 10 fighters be on a card like this? No. This is a development fight. This is like a club card, right? This is especially for a developing fighter, right? You don't need to be under the damn spotlight trying to figure this shit out. We don't want to see it, right? This spot could have been taken by, you know, another great matchup, great uh matchup with good contention, with two great contenders coming together. These women, they not even good yet, much less great, right? um the title of the show is Watch the Game, Not the Score, right? They want us to look at the score in this case. Ooh, 7-0 versus 8-0. Somebody's gotta go. This shit is lame, right? The Natalie Sugar Brown Show. Like, subscribe, share. But this is the Natalie Sugar Brown Show, is the show that's going to shine the light on this bull jive, because it's bull jive, right? There are women out here working for their bread just for y'all to see uh, two greenback fighters go at it. Who gonna pay their money for this, right? There's fights that are worth the money. There's fights that this ain't worth the money. And call it, call me. I'm sure y'all might think I'm a hater, or I'm throwing shade. It's not. This is business, baby, right? Um, I'd hate for you to buy a chicken dinner and pay steak prices for it. You know what I'm saying? We know what our money's worth. We know what we know what we should be buying with our money, right? So I'm letting you know what this is. Um, should this fight generate the same revenue as a male fight? Right? So say like a Shakur Stevenson or something like that versus a tough fighter. Should Ramla Ali be getting the payment that a Shakur, or well, Shakur is a medalist. Listen, bring another up and coming male fighter that is kind of a celebrity, kind of known, uh kind of popular, versus a tough fighter, right? Do these broads deserve the same type of paycheck those guys deserve? No, no. Mm-mm. The pool is just too deep in the male boxing for that to happen. It just is. It just is. I respect this sport too much for this, that I mean, for people out here who are really training, who are really putting their work in, who have really put their work in, to let broads like this, sub 10, who's just just developing, to get paid more money. It's not right. um and so let's go on to the next image. Let's go on to the next, what we talking about. This gonna be real fast. This gonna be real fast, y'all. So, and I'm just doing this because I'm talking about the the poster, okay? But this is an example of what I mean by, you know, some bull jive, right? These women are these sub 10 fighters are on this card. They haven't generated any. I mean, Sky Nicholson, they trying with her. I think she's an Olympian or something like that. Talking Fight. Tell me what's the background on this fighter, because she ain't really done anything out there for me to care. And it's not that I'm hating on her or anything like that. It's that this is women's boxing, and women boxers out there, I know y'all be watching my show. Y'all know, y'all agree with me. Y'all know, right? These sub 10s out here, y'all know how hard it is, right? Y'all know how hard it is to get on a show, a good show, right? I don't care where she been and what she's done. There's contenders out there that need this spot and deserve this spot more so. Okay. Um, so Sky Nicholson versus Tania Alvarez. Sky Nicholson is 5-0. Tania Alvarez is 7-0. Okay. I'm gonna just say it's a hard nope, right? I've watched Sky Nicholson box, uh, and Sky Nicholson is Talking Fight, guys. What's her background? Does she have? Because the way she fights, the way Sky Nicholson fights, she's got that Euro Ami style. She looks like a European amateur in there still. So she's out of. She was. So Sky Nicholson is out of Australia. Okay, so she's a tough broad out of Australia, young. Look like they trying to push these Aussie girls. Okay, so because you got one Aussie, Avril Mathie, who is pretty much going to just be a drill, a go through for Ramla Ali. I said, but she has a puncher, she has a fighter's chance. Okay, so still rooting for her, but I'm thinking that Ramla's going to take this one. Tania, what is it? Alvarez. Oh, she's a Spanish boxer. Okay. All right. So there we go. Tania Alvarez is a Spanish boxer out of Spain. Okay. So they trying to do it, and they trying to do it with her. They saying she's been boxing for a year. Tania Alvarez has only been boxing for a year. Talking Fight, guys, come on. Like, please tell me that I got it wrong. She couldn't only been fighting for a year. She's only been fighting pro for a year. Please tell me that she's only been fighting pro for a year, and she's on this card. She's on a big card like this. About My Father's Business came in and says 7 fights in a year. Damn. I mean, yeah, that's a lot. We got to see her record, right? 7 fights in a year. Who she been fighting? Who? It's even worse now. It's just hard for me to even care or like this. And so Sky, the Aussie, who they trying to bring in, and Tania Alvarez, from Spain. She is 7-0. It's a Spain 7-0, a Spanish 7-0. Right? Who else who else fighting out of Spain? Who in the surrounding area? Like, Never heard. Who are you? And it's not that I'm dissing. This ain't a diss. This is really shining the light on what's happening, what they're doing. They couldn't be now. Both of these broads could not be making no money. They bring these broads into the spotlight so they won't have to pay a broad money, right? Because if you're bringing a broad that has been in the game, has earned her stripes, has earned her rounds in here, you're gonna have to pay her, right? They bring these sugar water broads, right? Don't know they flavor, sugar water, on a big card like this because they don't want to pay nobody. Cheap. I'm gonna keep my money in my pocket if it, like, I don't even think I'm gonna stick around after the McCall Bumgarner fight for this. You know, I watched Sky Nicholson in there. I'm not interested in watching the especially the Euro Emmy style. I'm just not interested in that, you know, right. I'm not interested in that. It was smooth. Maybe it was smooth 25 years ago when the shit was first came out. I mean, not first came out, but when I was seeing it at the world championships when I was an amateur, right? But the shit's old now. She's, from what I see, Sky Nicholson is a sanguine fighter based on that Euro style. The fight that I did see her fight, she was more for show than picking a fight. She was in there with pretty much you know, a body bag, right? It's not that the other fighter was, you know, a paid loser, but body bag meaning they just put her in some fancy boxing shorts and a sport top. She did not have, she should not have been in the ring, right? With the experience that she that she performed. She shouldn't have been in a fight like that, right? She stuck around though because Sky Nicholson, um, she has like a punk style. So, you know, with that little punk style, um, that other fighter was still in her face, which makes me even more not interested, right, in was about to happen between these two February 4th, right? But for the sake of women's boxing, I guess y'all should watch it. Um, I'm sorry. Listen, I got to tell y'all the truth, okay? This ain't no I don't interview nobody because I'm friendly with everybody, but you know, when you start telling people the truth, y'all, I guess it's hard to handle, and a lot of broads don't want to be friends, right? So the platform is for those brave enough to be vulnerable and to have a real conversation about what they do out here, right? I'm not out here to diss nobody, but I'm going to ask you the questions that we all been wanting to ask you, and we all been wanting the answers to. That's why very few have come on the Sugar Show, right? uh I Sugar is not about kissing nobody ass, right? Sugar's not about that. Sugar wants to know how you get up here, why you think, right? Why you thinking, what's the plan? And tell me about you, right? Not, oh, you're great and you're gonna be the best and you're hopping coming. You're hungry, bitch. You hungry? Please bring a hungry bitch on my show, because I got the questions for her. I've been a hungry broad out here. I've been a hungry bitch out here trying to get a fight. sacrificing, going through the bullshit. So I know what questions to ask. I know when you bullshitting me. I know what to tell you when you coming on here with your sad story, right? Everybody got a story. Everybody's important. Everybody's interesting. But the Sugar Show is about what's real out here in the field. What you out here really doing. And I'm not judging you. I don't judge any of these broads. I love all women boxers. I do. Because it just takes a certain type of broad to do this shit. Right? But I the Kool-Aid, I ain't drinking up your Kool-Aid. I want us to all be authentic enough to be worth the money. And a lot of these broads are out here selling sugar water for champagne. It's not fair. It's not fair. But let's see, right? What my godmother, my grandmother's best friend, Miss Telly, used to say, and she was an old city gal. City girl, y'all think the city girls just came out? This was the old school city gal, right? She said, it's all bullshit, baby. I just want to believe yours. Make me believe your bullshit, right? So it just, brings me back to this fight. Sky Nicholson versus Tania Alvarez. I think this is a development fight, which does not belong on a card like this. You cannot, women's boxing should not be using these high caliber platforms to develop no broad, right? These type of platforms should be to show off the contenders so we can make y'all money, Dazin and all of you guys out here, because there's broads out here that will bring in the money, right? We don't need to be seeing these wet-nosed toddlers eating spaghetti. There's real fights, real interesting fights, real good fights that can happen. Give these broads out here a chance. Give these crones out here a chance, right? Poke one of these dragons. These wet-nosed broads out here, it ain't it. It ain't it. Eddie Barrington, hey. And you come in with roses. I got 6 roses from Eddie Barrington. Thank you, baby. Thank you. You just don't, you know how good that makes me feel? Yeah. When a man gives me roses, ooh. I mean, there's a lot of other things, right? That really, that will really get sugar, doing some sweetness to you and with you, right? A lot of things, but we could start with roses. I like that. So hey Eddie, thank you for chiming in. Thank you for coming every Wednesday. Like you come pretty much every Wednesday. Just like about my father's business. You guys chime in. I love it. And y'all are good to me. Where we at? Yeah. So this Eddie Barrington, we talked. The title of the show is "Watch the Game, Not the Score," and I hope you can understand what that means when it comes to women's boxing, right? Watch the game. Watch how these broads operate in there, right? Watch what they do in there. Watch how they make this money, right? Don't watch the points. Don't watch the number. Don't watch the the record. Don't do that. That it's just lame now, the way they the way that they're ignoring the greatness, the goodness, the contenders in women's boxing out here. They've really evolved the bullshit. At first it was like there's not enough women boxers to fight. There's not enough competition out here, right? And now they just blatantly putting, whoever the hell they want up there, without even giving any rhyme or reason why they put, these entry level broads on big shows like this. So this fight here is a pressure test for Nicholson. um Tania Alvarez, I've watched some footage. She don't even have much footage out there, and this is the time. Like, come on now, this is 2023. Like, this 2020 2020s, right? If you don't have footage out here and you call yourself a fighter, you ain't done shit. You ain't done nothing. Somebody got to have a footage. Somebody was there. Somebody had a phone. You see what I'm saying? Right? So if you don't have no footage out here, so I was able to see one fight of hers that, I was able to bring up for Tania Alvarez, and looks like she is a pure banger. Looks like she's a banger. She walks around and she takes, right, and she'll bang it out and give. She looks like a phlegmatic temperament fighter. Okay, banger, meaning that she does it for she does it for the energy of the crowd. Go, yeah, go, because as everybody was cheering, the more she was moving forward and the more she was banging into her opposition. Okay, she wasn't one that was, performing like a sanguine, right? And she wasn't showing that she had any story she was trying to unfold and play, right? And she didn't look like she had anything in particular that she was fighting for in there. She just looked like, I'm in here to fight, and to I want the crowd to cheer me on. Right? So that's the type of fighter she is. She's motivated. She's not motive. Well, yeah, she's motivated by the energy of the crowd. Well, guess what, baby? You're going to have a really, really bad time in this fight, because the crowd ain't for you, um, Tania, right? Um, I, you guys don't even like. You got to know you got to know what kind of fight you signing up for. You got to know what kind of fight you're signing. You got to know where you're going and what's going to happen, because that shit does work on your psyche. I remember one time standing in the hall before I was walking to the ring, and I'll tell you two scenarios. One scenario, I I'm standing in the hallway waiting for them to call me out to walk to the ring. And when I stepped out, the stadium said, yeah. Everybody was just cheering for me. And then, the sparks, and it was just a fantastic showing. The energy was for me. And Sugar does her bow. Okay, because I was a show woman, not a sanguine, but traditional show woman. Um, Coming out, walking to the ring, acknowledging everyone who's there that supported Sugar, because y'all fighting, we fighting for a cause. Okay, yes. I'm hoping y'all can guess what kind of fighter Sugar was or is. So, I was a great night. I couldn't lose. My head was in it. I won before I even got up the stairs into the ring. Shit. And then I'm just gonna give you the contrast of another fight that I've had. I'm waiting there in the hallway, and they call Natalie Miss Too Bad Sugar Brown, and I'm walking out, and I hear, "Boo! Knock that bitch out! Kill the bitch!" I'm like, "Kill me? You don't even know me." I'm walking out like all the beef and drama before I even get to the damn ring. Stop her! Over! Right? As I'm going up the stairs, I had to say to myself, "This is great. I'm gonna have a good night." While everybody's booing and everybody's wanting you to get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot. You have to, like, it's more than just walking into the ring. It's more than just getting in there and dancing around. It's more than that, right? It's about knowing yourself, being knowing yourself to know that you are going to be vulnerable in there, but you're going to have the courage to do that. And that's just any, like, that's people in life. When you find a person that has the courage to be vulnerable, keep them around, because a lot of these punk ass people out here, they put on a show, they put on a mask, they faking it. I'm too with that part. Sugar too lazy to put on a mask. Either you like me or you don't. You want to see the real Sugar, right? Real 100% Sugar. Okay, I have the courage. I've and tried and true. Um, I've been at my lowest and my highest, and y'all have seen it. And that's why I love my people. I love y'all out there that support Sugar. I love y'all out there that feel Sugar, right? Because there's been many people out there that do what I'm doing, right? But it took a lot of courage to start it. And of Sugar was one of those who started this shit. Yeah. Right? So you have to have the courage to know that you're going to go through, you're going to fail, right? You're going to fall, but you're going to get back up. You're going to fail, but then you're going to get it. You're going to learn, right? And you must have the courage and the vulnerability to do that under the spotlight, and love yourself while you're doing it. And love yourself when you you don't deserve to be loved, and appreciate the people who love you regardless, even when you don't deserve to be loved. Right? So that's my spiel on it. Yeah, so this is a pressure test for Sky Nicholson. Tanya Alvarez is a straight up banger. Um, I do prefer Tanya Alvarez in this matchup because I saw more uh, energy in. I saw more energy in Tanya Alvarez's approach in her performance, in the one little fanky footage that I did see of her out there. She won me over um with her resilience, with her her determination. I wasn't won by Sky's amateur style. It just didn't, it did nothing for me. So I prefer Tanya in this match, just from an entertainment perspective. But I just know, experience wise, that Sky will probably touch and move long enough for the rounds to go by and for her to just eke out a win, a decision win. So, I mean, that's what I see. Um, about my father's business says, you'll be a good commentator and analyst as well. Thank you about my father's business. Thank you so much. I would love to be that. I mean, that's why I'm on this. That's why I'm on this platform. That's why I have this platform. Because I was sick and tired of the popularity contest, the bias, the the unfair representation and lack of voice of the real authentic women boxers out here, right? I wanted a place where everyone can come and talk. uh and like I said, Sugar is a judgment free zone. I'm gonna call you on your bullshit, but it ain't for me to judge you, right? So if you believe in your story and if you believe in what you're doing out here, come talk on the show. Come to the Sugar Show. Come tell us who you are and why you one of these bad broads out here, and why we should spend our money and pay attention to you, right? Why? Why? Um, Lovely assistant, is there any other images? I know there is. I just kind of lost my place. Get me back in. Ooh. So this is what I wanted to talk about, y'all. This is what I wanted to talk about. This matchup right here. I got to laugh. I have to laugh. This is so, it's so funny, and it just it it what's the word? What's the word when something just, it just gets you like right here, but it's not a laugh. It's not a you know, guess what? You only get there with somebody else. I mean, let's stop. Let me stop. Cause y'all like when I come, I get, y'all like when I go on with shenanigans on here, and I'm trying not to go on with the shenanigans, but yes, this thing right here, it just kind of, it turns me on, in a funny kind of way. This matchup right here, you want to know why? I'm gonna tell you why, y'all. So this is Michaela Meyer versus Christina Linadartu. And y'all have heard me say Christina Linadartu's name over and over and over on my shows. They call this broad Medusa. Look at her, okay? The reason why, right? Because few and far between, you will find a bitch that will fuck you up out here. And I have to say it that way. I have to say it that way. Okay. And Christina Linadartu is that broad. You can sign up and go with her if you want to. And so it's just so funny, and it just turns me on so much that Michaela Meyer decides supposedly that she's gonna fight Christina Linadartu. Girl, you trying to get your spot back, or you trying to ruin it? Huh? It's okay, Michaela. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know if you ready to fight no Christina Linadartu. I know where you're going with this though, right? You feel like you're gonna beat the woman that beat Alicia Baumgartner and get your spot back. Bitch, sit your ass down. Get to the end of the line. You still ain't at the end of the line. You got to start over and get back to the front. And then she all, girl, so you're not a Disney princess no more? You on here with the black hoodie, with the black on black on black, with just the sweaty face? Girl, I ain't convinced. Girl, get your ass to the back of the line. I'll see you later. But Christina Linadartu, I mean, just the story. I'm let's get into it, okay? So Michaela Meyer is 17 wins, one loss, okay? Her one loss is to Alicia Baumgardner. Okay, the champ. You know that she's the co-main on this big card on February 4th. Like she's a superstar now, right? Where Michaela Meyer used to be like the star. I know her ass still can't believe she got to go to the end of the line. I know she can't believe it, but girl, yes, girl, you gotta get to the end of that line. Um, yeah, you ain't getting no girl. That girl ain't getting no rematch. Like like Alicia said, girl, you ain't give nobody no rematch. Why are you sitting there trying to get a rematch and you never gave anybody else before who you robbed or who you came close to, who came close to beating you in a fight. You never gave them no rematch. Get your ass to the end of the line. So, Michaela Meyer is an elite level boxer. Okay, she's an she. I often wonder why she didn't end up at the Olympics, right? Because I remember when she was coming through. I think she was in the same division as a broad named Queen Underwood, and I think Queen just had a better story, I guess, because Michaela Meyer could box. Like Michaela Meyer could box her ass off, right? It's just that Michaela Meyer think just cause she can box, um, she's special. No, honey, we you there's boxers, there's bangers, there's fight. Like just because you're Michaela Meyer and you can box, don't mean that you're more special than anybody else, and it doesn't mean that you don't need to prove yourself like everybody else has to prove themselves. And that's what you were doing. Like you were just trying to get by off of. Oh, I'm Michaela Meyer, and I'm a Disney princess that I can box. Nah, them days is over. Like Kara Rowan, them they the ones that they did that. It's old now. Right? It's old, right? Now you gotta get in the trenches with mofos like Christina, and now you gotta show, right? You gotta show what your salt is. So elite level boxer has fought um tailor-made opposition. Okay, and she has fought the likes of Nydia Feliciano, who Nydia Feliciano was to me the first fighter who exposed Michaela Meyer. It's just that Nydia Feliciano didn't have the political pull. She was just a fighter for great boxer. Um, she didn't really have no money, but she didn't have no money behind her. She was just a fighter, fighting her way through this and trying to be somebody in this. Um, Great contender. I wish she was given a chance, right? Because after she got robbed by Michaela Meyer, uh, she showed that she was not a fighter that any other fighter who wasn't real out here could risk themselves fighting against. She made Michaela Meyer look bad, right? So when you are a fighter brought in as an opponent, you don't have no money behind you, and you make the money girl look bad, you don't get no more work. That's how that goes out here. It's not fair, right? But this is why women's boxing needs to we got to open the gates some more, right? One or two broads or three or four. The star broads can't be the only ones making money, and the losers can't be the only ones making money, right? The contenders should be making money too. So, um, Michaela Meyer has fought some decent contenders. She's eked by the skin of her teeth. Okay, and she tried to ignore Alicia Baumgardner into oblivion, right? Alicia Baumgardner stood on her porch and was like, yeah, let's fight, let's fight. And she ignored Alicia, right? Ignoredly fought everybody behind the line. You behind the line, yeah, I'm fighting you, right? So what Alicia Baumgardner do? She said, "Screw this! I can't get through the front door. I'm gonna climb through your damn window and make you have to fight me in the foyer." Right? So that's what happened, and sure enough, Alicia Baumgardner snatched that damn belt right up off of Michaela Meyer. Right? So now that's what shows now this hardness. Oh, I'm back. I'm hard now because Alicia Baumgardner done beat her out of a belt. So now I guess she's trying to convince us that she hardcore now, going to the end of the line. So she's fighting Christina Linadarto, who is 14 wins, 2 losses. Okay. Now, this is why I'm concerned for Michaela. I don't know who Michaela been talking to. The people, her people, them need to do some research, right? Because you don't want to ruin your fighter. You don't want to ruin your fighter. I don't think Michaela Meyer has the mental capacity to fight or be in a fight with Christina Linadartu, especially after a hurtful win, because she's still hurt. I mean, a hurtful loss, because she's still hurt off of her loss to to Alicia Baumgardner, right? So you don't want to beat a fighter down, a fighter like Michaela Meyer down like that. Michaela Meyer is Michaela Meyer is, I would say, I would say she's a phlegmatic temperament fighter. Because when you listen to her interviews and when you see the way she fights, she never refers to herself. She never says, I, me, will, I have. But, she always says, Coach Al, Coach Al, Coach Al, the people, Coach Al, right? And that's what it is with phlegmatic temperament people. They want to do it for, the energy. They want to do it for the energy. They only tough if the crowd think they tough, right? They only bad if the coach think they bad. They don't think they bad on their own, right? They don't think that they foxy on their own like a sanguine. You ain't going to outfox a sanguine, right? A choleric. Bad. You got to stop a choleric from being bad, from telling you, I'm bad. I'm here to fight. Let's do it, right? Like Christina Linadartu is a straight up choleric, okay? Um, right? So, and she's not a melancholic, meaning I'm fighting for the cause. I'm fighting. There's an adversity that I'm going to champion, and I got people on my back, and my fans see it, and I'm the one that's going to fight and beat this adversity. She's not. She's certainly not that, right? So, Michaela Meyer, phlegmatic, temperament. That's why it's hard for her ass to get to the end of the line because ain't nobody at the end of the line. You in the tail, like there's nobody for you to feel like, oh, okay, I'm back here with somebody. You in the end, and you got to start all over again. You got to get your spot back. You got to get people liking you again and believing in you again. And there's people out there that say Michaela Meyer deserves a rematch, but guess what? That broad didn't get no rematch, right? Because she hasn't made it. She doesn't have fans or her story, she hasn't made it so that people think it's so important that she gets another chance. It's not really important to any of us that she gets another chance. That's why she ain't getting no rematch. But I see she trying to prove something. I think it's a lame attempt. She's fighting. She signed up. I haven't seen. It's not on BoxRec yet though. So this might be some bull jive. This might be this might be like a publicity stunt or a reason for her to get some damn attention. And I'm thinking that's what it is, because I know Al ass ain't finna sign her up to fight no Medusa after she lost against Alicia. You will ruin your fighter's psyche doing some garbage like that, right? He need to put her in the ring with somebody that she can believe in herself from, like, oh, okay, I beat this person. I am worth something. Coach does believe in me, right? Like, I'm not even going to I'm not helping y'all. I'm not calling no names out there. You got your matchmaker, right? Y'all need to find somebody good. I have some ideas in my mind, and I know y'all people out here do too, but I ain't helping them. I ain't helping them set nobody up. So just giving y'all the rundown on Christina Leonardo Medusa. Christina Leonardo is an elite level fighter. Yes. Fighter. That's her style. She's a choleric fighter. And those are the most dangerous, because a fighter is unconventional, right? And then on top of that, she's choleric, right? So that means she's not in it to box you. She's in it to fuck you up. Yeah. If she don't win, you going to still lose, because she's going to hurt you. You're going to get busted up. You're going to be leaking. She's going to hurt you in there. She throws shots that make you think about what she's doing to you. That's how this broad fights. And she's relentless. Like, she has this pressure, and it's not a pressure like I was saying with the Tanya Alvarez type of pressure. This pressure is like looming on top, like it's intense on top of you, because if you're not fighting out of it, you got to fight it, but you're constantly having to fight. There's no running. You can't run away from fighting a choleric fighter. You have to contain a choleric fighter, which takes a very high boxing fighter IQ. It takes tremendous shape and a vacuum sealed strategy, meaning ain't no pockets in there. Because a choleric fighter, if you give them a fraction, if you give them a small inkling that they can win or they can do something to you, that's all they need. That's that mustard seed of faith, right? You got to seal all the doors shut and contain them, right? And let them whoop their ass in their craziness. I don't think Michaela Meyer got that. But I don't think the contract is signed because I don't see this matchup on BoxRec. And y'all know BoxRec is the thing that we all run to see if the thing happened or not. Okay. Christina's gonna make it a fight. Michaela Meyer could barely deal with Alicia, and Alicia wasn't as into. She's the one that she had Alicia Baumgardner in the ring, moonwalking like Michael Jackson. You heard? She had Alicia Baumgardner folded in there. Alicia ain't know what the hell to do. I liked it. I really liked it. I like that. She beat Alicia like a grown-ass woman would beat a little girl. I loved it. Right? Like I said, when you get all grown and you put your hand on your hip, like my grandma said, you put your hand on your kimbo, and you think that you can talk to a grown-ass woman any kind of way, she got to knock your head between the washer and dryer and let you know how it really is out here. That's what Christina Leonardo did to Alicia Baumgardner, who is now a superstar celebrity. And Christina Leonardo has quite a bit to prove now. Lovely assistant, do we have can you go on to the next image, because I know I got an image here of now look at this. Like, this next image for you guys who are just listening in. This image is of Christina Leonardo versus Katie Taylor, the post-fight interview. This is the darling Katie Taylor. And this is the only image that you can find out there of the post-fight picture. Okay? I watched the post-fight. I think the post-fight interview is out there. And they asked, and I loved it. They asked Christina, they said, how do you feel about the decision how do you feel about your decision loss against Katie Taylor? And Medusa said, I won that fight. Look at me and look at her. Can't you tell? Katie Taylor saw her ass with what's his name? Come on, Eddie Hearn. They got up and they walked out of the press conference like some punks after Leonardo said that, because it was true. And they didn't want anyone to see that. Right? She fucked Katie Taylor up in there. And I know it's going to be tough for some of you guys who, y'all, some of my viewers, y'all love Katie Taylor. And I'm not dissing no Katie Taylor. Right? We all know we gotta respect Katie Taylor's style. She done merged track and field with boxing, and it's working for her. Okay? But if you look at her in this image, in this picture, you could see that Medusa caught up to her ass. Okay? The eyes done, it's purple and swollen shut. She got the knots on the forehead. Right? She's, it's just not looking like she won this fight. And then you see Leonardo on the other, in the other picture, looking like, she just sweated it out at the gym. Okay, so, and this is Katie Taylor. This is what she did to Katie Taylor. So I don't know what Michaela Meyer think going to happen to her in there versus Medusa. Somebody called a girl and Taylor just going to the end of the line, right? And stop trying to prove stuff that's going to hurt and ruin her. Christina Leonardo, let me see the other image you got, lovely assistant, because I'm gonna wrap it up. Like, subscribe, and share, you guys. Like, subscribe, and share. Right? I had to end it. Like, I had to end it with a picture of this baddie right here. Why? Because Leonardo is one that does not have that formal backing. You know, she doesn't have that pedigree. She's just a badass. She's just bad. Right? She's a small fighter. She's small. Right? You can see the work on her and everything. She's not too hard bodied or anything like that. She's one of those fighter. She's just someone that just has that natural disposition of choleric, badass. And I like it. I'm a fan. I like her. I like her swag. I like her moxie. And I don't know if she's doing anything for, the community or whatever, I don't know. But as a fighter in the ring, I like how she's proven who she is, right? She's her only two losses is Delphine Pursoon and Katie Taylor. And these are two high-end fighters. She's fought somebody that nobody will touch in Delphine Pursoon. And she fought Katie Taylor. And Delphine Pursoon arguably beat Katie Taylor at least one time. And she did well against Delphine Pursoon. So this is a great contender right here, y'all. Right, Christina Leonardo. And I'm looking forward to seeing her fight any of the top level lightweights and featherweights. I think she can go all the way down to featherweight too, right? So featherweight and lightweight. I like her style. I like her moxie in there. She's someone who's entertaining as well, the way she fights. And so, you guys, and that's it for this Wednesday, today's Sugar Show. Thank you guys for chiming in. I haven't shout out my participants in a very long time, but thank you about my father's business for checking in. Thank you so much, Eddie Barrington, for my roses and stopping by. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure getting on this platform and talking the talk with y'all and laughing it up. And like I always say, I try to make it. I try to get in on the chat with my guys on Talkin Fight on Fridays. But like, subscribe, and share first. But if y'all don't see me on Friday, right, y'all will definitely see me same time, same place, 7:30 on a Wednesday night, here to talk with y'all and have this conversation about what's going on in women's boxing. Okay. Take care of yourself, be good, and until then, bye bye.